So after 6 chapters and 3 long months waiting in anticipation, we finally get back to Darkshine versus Garou, which we left off with this amazing, I think it was chapter 121, this amazing picture of Darkshine's giant freaking back, and then Garou just looking demonic as hell right after he beat the crap out of Pretty Prisoner. Now, does this fight stack up to the anticipation? I'm gonna say yeah. Like, the brutality in this and the one-upsmanship from these fighters is really freaking rad. Especially with this first page of Garou, just the intensity of these lines is freaking amazing. And like, you know, when somebody's putting some effort in when they have a giant fane in their head like freaking Darkshine has right here. But I'm loving the contrast between, and we'll see one of the images in a second of what I'm talking about, but Garou, like, he's been drawn lately with a lot of like rough lines, almost like a demonic kind of thing, and it's an interesting contrast between that style and freaking Darkshine's like smooth and glossy muscles and his perfect body, you know. But I'm loving this fight. This beginning part is super intense, and there's a little bit of a twist later on that I thought was awesome too. But especially with this page here, with Garou just wailing the crap out of him, but Darkshine just like flexes. And I love how huge his body is compared to his tiny little head. And I also love how Puri calls him Darkchan. That's so awesome. But you have Darkshine just, you know, easily overwhelming Garou, and I'm like, oh man, I thought this would be like a more even fight. But it turns out that Garou isn't done yet. He's like seeming to up the speed, and I really love it when they portray speed with like after images, because it shows that like, oh, these guys are like really putting an effort into how fast they're going. And I love like the multiple Garous kicking at Darkshine, but it's just like no sold with freaking Darkshine's giant fist, and I love this image. And it just shows, oh, okay, Darkshine, like, he might be the 11th like S-class hero, but god dang, this guy is amazing, especially with Garou, because we know what he can do. I think, as far as I remember, the strongest or the highest ranked hero was Tank Top Master that Garou took out. Correct me if I'm wrong there, because I don't quite remember. But that was I think he was S-class 16. But the twist that I talked about earlier was Darkshine here, and he's like, your monster play ends here, and that just like pushed one of Garou's buttons, as if that's like one of his pet peeves or something. And this is probably my favorite image from this chapter, this low-key image of Garou just all in shadow except for his freaking intense eyes. And if you think about it, Garou hasn't had a whole lot of time to rest ever since he fought Death Gatling. That was a long time ago, you know. But then he fought Orochi, and he just got the crap. I mean, he's almost died multiple times, and he's just kind of evolved, which is really interesting. But it turns out that Garou has been asleep he's been sleep fighting. So he defeated Pretty Prisoner while asleep, and then he's been fighting Darkshine this whole time. Which I thought was awesome, because when he gets back into the fight, Darkshine like starts to recognize, okay, this guy isn't really a pushover, you know, I might have to actually try. But I do like how at first he's like, don't make excuses, because Garou's like, oh, it looks like I was sleeping this whole time, and Darkshine's like, don't make excuses for why I was able to get the upper hand on you, you know. But Garou just really quickly shows him, because before he didn't really have like a fighting stance or style, he was just kind of like attacking, you know. But then it shows like, okay, you know, I'm awake now, I'm ready to fight. So then he gets into his fighting stance, and this is when you actually know that, okay, now he's serious. And we'll see that in a second, trust me. But I don't know if it was just me, but this page here, the art quality seems to be a bit of a downgrade, but that could be just me. Because this next page after that, I really like the art quality. There's a lot of detail. You see in Garou's hands, like, the experience that he's gone through in just like a short amount of time, you know. And then Darkshine, like, Darkshine is looking serious. Like, he might be taking this guy serious from this point on. So he goes into attack, Darkshine does, with this amazing looking fist and intensity, and Garou just like boom, and he immediately shows the insane increase from asleep fighting and then his actual skilled fighting. And Darkshine, like, he looks like he might be down for the count at first, but he gets right up and he's like, my muscles can take anything, but you know, this guy, there's a coordination in his body that has improved like dramatically from his sleepiness. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, you can tell that there's an actual style to this fighting now as opposed to before, where he's just kind of like this berserker monster sort of thing. So with this, Darkshine actually sees his potential and his actual skill, and he's like, geez, man, like, why are you working for the monsters? You should be on our side with the Heroes Association, you know? And this is an interesting kind of parallel here, because like everybody's trying to recruit him now. They want him to be a hero. Orochi wanted him, or what was his name? The stupid eye guy. Freaking, I'm having a brain fart here, but he was trying to get him to join the Monsters Association. And Garou's like, you know, screw both of you guys. I'm just like I'm my own person. He's like a gray Jedi with like Jedi trying to get somebody Force sensitive to join them, but then like the Sith are trying to get them on the dark side, you know. But they're like, no, you know, both of your ways don't work for me. I'm just gonna do my own thing, sort of thing. That's what that reminded me of, at least. So really awesome part. Another one-upsmanship from Darkshine. He powers up essentially. In other words, he just flexes more. And I love this art here with this like shine on his head. It's like a lightning bolt. And of course, I love all these veins going throughout his muscles. And of course, I love his tiny head, a massive body. But the next page here is where it really shows. Like this, Darkshine is now serious. Like before, he was kind of holding back. Now he's like, okay, you won't join me? Well, screw you then. I'm just gonna wipe the floor with you right here and now. And the freaking introspection that Garou goes through in this instant, because you see this just overwhelming juggernaut of a freaking mass of muscles essentially going through this tiny body that Garou is. You know, however skilled and strong he is, he's still tiny in comparison. So he's like, should I deflect it? You know, he's really big and it would be really tough to deflect that much power going through him. But it's too late. Like, he couldn't decide what to do. So he basically gets all of his ribs and everything broken. This is what I was talking about, like the brutality of this fight. I mean, this is essentially a killing blow. You know, because this, I mean, it would probably, I mean, it's Garou, so it's not going to kill him. He, you know, at this point, Garou can just live through anything, you know. That is his superpower. He just lives through everything and evolves. He's like Doomsday from Superman. You know, what kills you makes you stronger. I think that was actually from the Smallville series. But I love this page, and I love how it's just showing it's always awesome seeing Garou get hurt. I don't know what it is, but you know he's just gonna stand up and fight with all these broken bones. But especially after seeing the destruction that this tackle causes in this place. I love the detail and all the architecture just getting blown away. That's one thing about this arc that I'm really loving, is just the mass destruction that explosions are causing, punches and just tackling through walls and everything. And this is when Darkshine actually reveals that he sparred with Silverfang and got the crap beat out of him by Silverfang. And I thought, yeah, okay, that makes sense. He was able to kind of deflect your attacks and beat you up. But that's an interesting bit of information there. And of course, this is when Garou gets up and he starts his little philosophical stuff about talking about how the heroes are hypocrites. Think back to the time with Death Gatling, where Garou basically protected that kid from all of his bullets, and thinking like, who are you guys to say what is right and what's wrong? You know, you're not like real justice. I'm gonna crush your justice. And what I really loved is do you really think that you're not playing hero? Because earlier Darkshine said that he's playing monster. And that really speaks a lot about how the mentality of a lot of the heroes isn't focused on being actual heroes. It's more concerned with, fame and just like other things that aren't altruistic hero stuff. And I really enjoyed that. And actually, this somewhat reminded me of Stain from My Hero Academia just a little bit. So really cool stuff. The next page, awesome stuff, because now it's showing like almost like he was before, except a little bit more intense shadows on him. Like he did before when he was asleep, a little bit more demonic. So Garou like this with his freaking white eyes, awesome stuff. But of course we have a little bit of a break from that, which I'm actually glad. We get to Saitama and Flashy Flash, and Flashy Flash is actually acknowledging Saitama's skill, but he's not enough to where he's like, yeah, man, you are legit, because of Saitama's sloppy fighting technique. And I've been thinking this for a long time now. Saitama's like super sloppy, just leaves guts exploding everywhere. And of course, fighting technique does have its merits. Saitama hasn't really needed fighting technique, so I don't know what good that's gonna do him. It's gonna do a lot of good for the cleanup crews, that's for sure. But I liked this little break, and Saitama's like real mad about his cape getting punctured, and then we have this one tiny panel of Cyborg just running, and he's like, I hope Saitama's costume is okay. So I really loved that little bit of a detour from the main story here. Because it gave us a little bit of a break in the action, which you do need sometimes, because then it just becomes oversaturated with action. So what I was talking about before of Garou just improving over the course of the fight, he just starts wailing the crap out of Darkshine. And Darkshine's like, is he getting faster? No, it's just my imagination. Nope, he's getting faster. And I love this part here, is just line art all the way, no shading, and it just shows like a snap instant in his own mind. Like we get into his head and he's like, shit, for an instant the word defeat came into my mind. What is going on here? And then we get the revelation that Garou is actually fighting with two different fighting styles in each hand. Oh my god, this is so awesome. And then we get this amazing freaking awesome looking shot. Like there is some really freaking awesome shots in this chapter, man. I mean, it makes it all worth it, waiting so long for this fight to finally come out. Just all this awesome art, man. So with Darkshine now on the ropes, he's like, all right, you know what? I can't afford to hold back against this guy. It's time for 100% Super Alloy Bazooka. And what I tell you about this freaking art in this chapter, guys, this attack, I love this attack. I love this attack. It looks like a freaking bazooka. So I'm thinking, okay, Garou's done. He's done. All of his ribs are broken. He's still not rested from his previous fights and previous injuries and crap. But then at the same time, it's like that's kind of how he gets stronger. The more broken he gets, the stronger he gets. And he stops it with his own punch. This is insane. And of course you get Darkshine's kind of thoughts on it. He's like, Garou's limiter, his body is starting to break. I'm like, starting? What do you mean starting? It should be done. But of course, in this last picture here, of course, we're left off with another cliffhanger, so we don't know the actual end to this fight yet. So we're gonna have to wait, what, another 3 months or something? But his body here looks like it's completely healed, like 100% back to regular. But the first thought I actually had when I saw this picture was, oh, he, like the symbiote from Spider-Man attached itself to him. So now we have Venom Garou. So anyway, god dang, this chapter was freaking rad, man. Finally we got this, but I really hope that we're not gonna have to wait another 3 months. I wouldn't mind like one chapter in between this to get a little bit of a break from all the super alloy action and freaking Super Alloy Bazooka. God dang, I love that attack. That's my new favorite attack of all time. Probably not though, but anyway, I guess that's wraps up the chapter and wraps up my thoughts. What do you guys think? Drop your thought waves down in the comments below, and as always, Thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe if you're not, and take it easy.